Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us tonight. It's yet another Sunday evening. Indeed, God has been gracious to us, and we have seen this day, and we are so grateful. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are looking forward to being with you on this show, as has been the last couple of weeks, and we have really enjoyed being in the presence of God as we talk matters business. Occupy Today is really about building business people and bringing them closer to experiencing the love of God through sharing experiences, through sharing lessons that we are learning, and, you know, just getting to grow each other and see to it that we occupy until Christ comes. So that said, I really want to welcome you and to just appreciate that you're here with us. My name is KAJUJU-15TH, and I'm really happy to host this show tonight with you being our audience. So I welcome you all to just sit, relax, and enjoy the show. The book of Romans chapter 5, verse 5 tells us that hope does not disappoint. Indeed, hope does not disappoint. When we have hope, we will never get disappointed. And tonight we just want to bring you hope, because we have hope for the businesses in Kenya, for the economy in Kenya, and this will be our topic of discussion. And of course, in studio, I'm joined by a vibrant pastor, a pastor who is passionate about matters business and other things that he will be sharing with us. And I just want to welcome you, Reverend Kimathi, Jacob Kimathi. It's really nice seeing you, Pasi, in the studio tonight. Yeah, how is Naivasha?
Naivasha, we are doing well. We thank God.
Yeah.
For the grace of God. The church is doing well.
Yeah.
We're happy to be here.
Oh, lovely. Karibu sana. I really want to enjoy and feel the energy that you bring to businesses, because normally I see you pale, and I just love when you speak matters business, because you bring a lot of hope to the businesses that are in Kenya, and I'm glad to have you in studio tonight just to share. Lovely. And how is your family doing?
Good. The Lord has been gracious to us. And He has kept us well.
Yeah.
And we are looking up to God.
Yes.
Every day.
Yeah.
He's applying all the grace.
Yes. Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Thank you, Rev. Karibu to studio tonight as we speak about the hope, this hope that Christ tells us that does not disappoint. And it is the hope for the Kenyan economy. We have seen many things happen and so much that is going on. I tell you, things can happen and business people can be left wondering where next. And probably you can just begin by telling us, what has been your observation? What do you see? And what are these things that you have observed world over as well as Kenya? You can begin where you feel comfortable. Just let us know some of these things that would shake up people, and especially people in business.
Yeah, you did. Let's begin there about business people. You know, business people are some of the people that are not quite understood or even appreciated. Because everyone thinks that it's going on well with them. Even when they say, oh, things are not okay, nobody seems really to appreciate that their situation is bad.
Yeah.
We assume that they have learned to talk like that. That things really are not bad. They are just talking.
I tell you. Yeah.
So we have this idea, they raise the cost of things. And so really business people are not understood. But you must understand, and I believe that a very serious person is a business person.
Yes.
To keep the business going, even under very difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of focus, a lot of energy, they, you know, very competitive environment. They don't take bribes. And yet they are supposed to compete with those who are not paying taxes, who are taking bribes.
Yeah.
So really it is tough.
Yes.
And and we need to appreciate our business
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. Yeah.
But having said that,
Yes.
talking of hope, we really need to appreciate where we are coming from,
Yes.
both locally and globally. We are coming from very, very tough and difficult years. I think
Yes.
we are going to fourth year of sustained challenges at the global and local level.
Yes.
If we could start back in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, out of nowhere, something that we had never experienced before, in March, the world was shut down
I tell you.
because of this COVID-19 pandemic that we experienced. Never before was the church closed. Never before were businesses closed.
Never.
Never before, and we experienced what we experienced. And it was on a global scale. It was not one country. If it was one country, then other countries would help. But here's a virus that is affecting literally everyone in the world.
I know.
And the aftermath of that, as you know, was disastrous.
Yes.
Businesses closed down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many families that depended on daily wages left the city, went back to the city because
the
to the village. They couldn't afford livelihood. They couldn't afford rent, and they left. Hotels closed, schools closed. Literally, the economy came to a standstill.
I actually think the only place that operated were the hospitals, Rev.
And even then, people were fearing.
I know.
So not all the hospitals were operating, actually.
Yeah.
People would only go to the hospital if they must.
I know.
Because they feared that meeting many patients would, precipitate the crisis of the virus. So many people would only go to the hospital if they are very, very sick.
I know.
And, then, of course, as a result, when there are no economic activities, when the little money people had saved is used
depleted.
The next thing is social issues.
I know.
Suddenly, families are not together. Couples are fighting. And then also mental issues. People have these mental issues. All of a sudden, you see many people having mental issues, depression setting. And it was so much. It was so much. And that continued actually for better part of 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
And, that not only affected us locally, it affected us all over the world.
Yes.
But while we thought we were recovering, oh my goodness, then came the Russia-Ukraine war.
I tell you.
Another upheaval in our world.
Yeah.
Because those two countries were supporting a lot of other countries, especially on energy, and petroleum,
Yes.
petroleum products, natural gas, and also food.
Yes.
There's a lot of grain, a lot of wheat that
Yes.
comes from that part of the world.
Yeah.
A lot of African countries dependent on those countries for their needs for food. And when those countries are now engulfed in a war, that the flow of grain is not there. And if it is there, it is expensive.
Yes.
And so these countries now experience, food crisis. And a lot of money, the governments have to use a lot of money to feed their people.
Yeah, people, yeah.
And then talk of, natural gas and petrol. Again, a lot of natural gas came from that part of the world. And suddenly we find, a skyrocketing price of fuel. And since early last year, that has continued in our country.
Tell you.
Every month, we are all hoping on 14th of every month, the government will reduce, will announce reduced cost of
Cost
fuel.
of fuel.
But it just keeps on going
I know.
with big margins. And, this, the result is that people are not able to actually afford to drive.
Yes.
People are not able to afford, to commute.
Yeah.
People are not able to afford even to take food to the market.
Yes.
And of course, petrol means a lot.
Yes.
When the cost of petrol is high, then everything else goes up.
Indeed.
The cost of production, you manufacturing, you find the cost of food kept on going up, and has continued to go up. And then talk of, being in such countries like Kenya and other African countries, where the economy is not so developed. In other countries, the governments are able to caution the citizens through subsidies, so that the citizens do not feel the pinch of it, the full weight of the global economic recession.
Indeed.
But in weak economies, the government cannot afford actually to give those subsidies. So the cost keeps on going higher and higher.
Yeah.
And as a result, there is suffering at every turn. Now, the inflation went high, it kept on going high. The weather situation did not help our country. And then last year coincided with our cycle of 5-year elections. Now, the election in this country are very competitive.
Yes.
And divisive.
Yes.
Many months, almost a year prior to the to the election, the economy just slows down. There is even, capital flight. People are not willing to invest. Others want to take off and invest in the neighboring countries because they are not sure of the outcome and the divisiveness that follows our very, very competitive politics.
Yes.
And actually even very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And then after the election, as you remember, there were court cases. Then there were these demonstrations in town. And all this has worked against our economy.
Completely so.
Yeah, there has been a sustained battering of our economy. And then, of course, now the government, I guess, trying to cope with the reality of the war of Russia, Ukraine, the aftermath of COVID-19, and now our election. The government has come up with this heavy taxation regime. Again, that has worked against us completely because when the income that you used to get is shrinking, it's like leaving a sack of, say, grain, maize, and then a month later you find half of it has been eaten. It can't be used. So you have lesser grain after a month. And so what has happened is that with high taxation,
yes,
people find they have less money to spend.
Yes.
And so what do? If you and two domestic workers, and then your salary are shrunk, what do? You get rid of one.
Of one. You cannot sustain both. You get rid of one. Or better still, you even try and do it internally without any of them.
No, but what does that mean?
It means that your job is incapacitated because you cannot double here and there.
Exactly. And also the people you got laid off, it means if they were supporting their own families,
Yes.
their children will not go to school.
Definitely.
If they were supporting their parents, maybe with
Actually.
medication or food, they will not. It also means once you find that your salary is less, if you are driving, and you know what happens is that you wake up one morning, you go to the gas station, and you find that the fuel has gone high.
Yeah.
The same day, you get a SMS and you are given a big bill for electricity.
I tell you.
Before long, you hear another call from the school where the juniors are going to. And then you hear they have also raised the school fees.
Yes.
And so how do you
Not to mention the way you go to the supermarket today with 1,000 shillings and it can't afford you anything that you'll put on the table for you.
No, you carry things with a small paper bag.
Oh, it's sad. It's sad.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
So what happens when that happens? For example, if you used to pass a kiosk near your house before reaching home, maybe to buy bread and buy milk, what happens? If you used to buy 2 packets, you buy 1.
You buy 1.
Or if you used to buy a bread every day, maybe you buy 1 after every 2 days. But what are you doing to the owner of the kiosk?
Of course, the business begins going
it goes down. Either the kiosk owner will raise the price,
or they close completely.
Or they close. But what does that mean? If they have closed, it means another economic activity has shut down.
Indeed.
That person now becomes a pauper, the children, And so I do not think, I am not an expert in this taxation regime, but it may not eventually work for us.
Yeah.
There will be less and less tax being collected by the Kenya Revenue Authority.
Yes.
We wish the government would release, more money to the economy.
Yes.
And that would spur the economy. And there will be, economic activities and jobs will be generated. But that's the situation we find ourselves.
That is the situation indeed.
Yes.
And so what is happening to subsistently? What are the approaches to business that you're finding now as a result of all this,
Yeah, first of all, as a country, we have our own challenges that we need to face up to.
Yes.
For example, our approach to business could be better.
Yes.
For example, we have a poor saving culture. And I found our president has made some efforts to spur, to encourage a saving culture.
Yes.
But now without a good saving culture,
yes,
what it means is that we have no capital for business.
Yes.
We have no fallback in case things happen. You have no fallback for a month or 2. You have no reserve at all to sustain you in difficult times. Because we actually don't have a very robust saving culture. Well, there are many things to that. Maybe the economy, what people earn is little, but generally, even with the little, if we were taught more better, if there were better structures, and this culture was ingrained in us from childhood, we would have better saving culture and we have some reserve.
That's true. Regardless of how much you get,
yes,
if you don't have the culture, you never will save for sure.
Of course, whether you get little or much, you just spend it. And that's a challenge that we have in our country. We also have very high interests when it comes to borrowing. You find it's high. The banks really they price their loans so high, and so that many people they don't have collateral in the first place, and then also they talk of the high interest rates, and so people don't have capital for business. Then we also lack structure. Our business, our approach to business is so subsistent.
Yes.
People don't actually do a simple thing as registering business. There is a feeling that you better go solo, don't go big, don't, register so that you can avoid taxation.
Taxation, yeah.
But now, when you avoid taxation, it also means that you limit your capital.
That's
because
true.
there is no bank, there is no financier
That's true.
who
Who
can
will want to
finance.
fund you if you're not properly constituted?
Yes, they will not. They will not. And
Yeah.
so that kind of subsistent approach to business, it means that our businesses cannot really grow beyond a certain level.
Yes.
And if they cannot grow beyond a certain level, then they are shaky. When there is a little shaking, they just go down.
Yeah.
We also, lack other structures that would support business, strategies of marketing, strategies of sustainability. And, we also are not consistent. I think something needs to happen to us.
I know, definitely.
When I look at our friends, our 44th tribe we are told, this 44 or 43rd,
44th, I
Yes.
think, yeah.
the Asian communities, they are fairly consistent.
Yes.
The businesses they earned in 1901, when they came here as couriers in the construction of the railway, they have sustained it.
Over
You
the
see
years.
Shah and the brothers or sons, and they keep consistent to that business, whatever it is,
Yes.
to the third, to the fourth, to many generations.
Yes.
They learn a lot. They bequeath the next generation with the skills
With the skills and the knowledge.
and the knowledge, and they are able to sustain those businesses over a
Yes.
long period of time.
Yes.
But the rest of us, oh my goodness. Well, we have this interest of being employed and having a good name, a big name for that matter, and big position. We don't learn the business of our parents. We don't inherit. Maybe even our parents are not willing to share
And to release it to us,
until you can get it out of them by force when they
I
die.
tell you, yeah.
And that lack of consistency and legacy has not worked for us.
Yeah.
We forget that money is money. And at the end of the day, seriously, we are looking for money.
Yes.
And if that money comes through business, it's the same money that you get by working in an office and working for an organization. I tell people that for you who is employed, and you are proud that I'm an employee, your employer looks at it as business.
Yes, of course. They're
Your
in
employer
business at
is
the end
in
of
business
the day. Yeah.
with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're one of the resources they're using for their business.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're making money for them.
That's true.
And we have to think hard on how to transit from being employed to being entrepreneurs, business owners, so that we can generate more resources and be able to spur the economy and be able to be in control of things.
Yes.
And that is very, very critical for us.
Yes.
And I normally say, I suggest that if it were possible, a situation where you are in a family, one of you should maybe try business where the other person remains employed. And if the business grows, then you all go into the business.
That's true.
Or you start small while you are working, where there is no conflict of interest and where you have the ability. And then when it grows, then you are able to move into the business. And I like to look at a business like a tree where we take shelter.
Yes.
From the sun. sit under the shade of a tree.
Yeah.
That is business. But every time you sit under a tree to shade, you must remember somebody planted it.
Yes.
And so every time you work, you must realize that for you is work,
Yeah.
but for the person you're working with is business. They have planted that, they have developed that business.
Yes.
And almost to ask, when will others shelter under the tree?
The same tree. Yes.
The tree you yourself
Yeah.
has planted.
Yeah.
When will others be employed by the business that you have established?
Yes.
Yeah, and
So it ceases to be for you only,
yeah,
but for the others around you as well, right?
He did. He did. He did. You know, a business will always expand with time, and it will be able to absorb 1, 2 people as employees, and that way we generate, you know, employment.
Yes.
As opposed to few people clamoring for few jobs. Well, we know that business is not easy, but there is no time that it will get easy.
No, there is no time it will get easy.
So the earlier we started to think of being in business, the better for us,
yeah,
and the better for our economy.
that's true.
Yeah, we also have a very kind of individualistic approach to business, especially as Christians.
Yes.
We look like we are fixated with, you know, surprising ourselves or our friends with a great idea that we have come up with. But, you know, there is no new idea.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah. In fact, when you share your idea, you perfect it.
That's true.
It gets better.
That's true.
As opposed to thinking it can be stolen.
That's true. Actually, I find a lot of, you know, when you, like you're saying, I bounce it on you, you question. When you question, I'm able to critically think about it.
Yeah.
I'm able to brainstorm it.
Yeah.
And I'm able to even make it better by the questions you ask or the feedback I get from you.
Yeah, because now I've enabled you, by questioning, I've enabled you to see the flip side of the coin.
Yeah, indeed.
You know, because you might be seeing only one side, and then I'm able to tell you the other side.
The other side.
And then you are able to make it better. Now, we all like to quote, and it's true, besides quoting the Asians who work as communities, as families. You know, what that happens, I mean, what that means, is that they even provide capital, startup capital, for one another.
Yes.
Because money circulates among them.
Yes.
I was reading an article just the other day where someone was saying that for the Israelites, money circulates 18 times within their community before it moves out.
Okay.
18 times.
Yes.
Because they do business among themselves, they trust each other. But for us, Christians and Africans, all money doesn't circulate among us. No. It goes out. It goes out. We have so much mistrust. We have so much negative competition. But if we moved from being, you know, individualistic,
yes,
to communities.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we find here, down here in Israel, that, the Muslim community there are able to trust each other.
Yes.
They are able to bring money together. They send one person to go and bring the goods in another country. As opposed to us, me
every
and
one of
Sarah
us
here
wants
will
to
get
go
to the plane.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of money on the plane, on the hotel, and then we come with small luggages.
Yeah.
Which money could have been converted into bringing in more goods.
Yeah.
And you know, when now we work as individuals, we
Yes.
can't even caution each other. When you go down, you go down. But if we are working as a community, sometimes you find maybe you are unwell. But because we are working as a community, or, you are able to be cautious. And so as believers,
Yes.
we need to move from being so individualistic to think of how we can work together, share ideas, resource even one another,
Yes.
and we win. That way we win better than when we are working as individuals.
I know.
And also, the other challenge I see locally and around us is we lack financial skills.
Yes.
Knowledge, the financial knowledge lacks.
Yeah.
Our education system, it doesn't prepare us to make money. I'm telling you.
It doesn't.
Unless now you do, finance option accounting.
Yes.
And not everyone is into that.
No, not everybody.
Majority of us are into medicine, what?
Education and other careers like that, yeah.
I am telling you, even to define what is an asset and a liability, we don't know.
We actually don't. So that poses as a real big challenge because one, we lack the knowledge,
yes,
but also the skill.
Yes.
And I also believe that the attitude for business, you lose it at that point.
You lose it.
But Daktari, I don't think this is, I love the way you've painted the picture of the challenges that we're having right from the global perspective to the Kenyan perspective, but also down here where the business community is.
Yeah.
And like we are saying that there is hope for the economy, I believe we have the hope.
Yeah.
And so we take a little break right now and we come back and you tell me, where is this hope? Because for sure we need to bring out the hope and tell you guys that there is hope. So don't touch that dial, just keep it right there. And we are coming back because we've painted the picture. It looks all gloomy, doom and gloom, but no, it's not. There is indeed hope for the economy. And so please send in your questions, send in your comments through the SMS line 22233, but also on Hope TV _Kenya, KE. You can send in your comments and your questions and we'll be able to see them. We'll be able to respond to them. For now, we take a short break. So as we do this, just grab your glass of water, come back, and let's see where is this hope? Because we have the hope, Daktari.
True.
Yeah, so we take a break and we'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Did they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcast?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
Kama vile mashua baharini, mizani imekwisha wasili. Mara hii kila Alhamisi.
Msoleta kabisa, mpenzi mtazamaji, mpenzi msikilizaji wa Mizani.
Tungependa Wakenya waende kwenye nchi ambazo tuko na mikataba nao.
Kulikuwa na Raila Odinga, kukawa na Wajakoya pia. Mbona hongeunga mkono?
Tupe mauzani wa masuala ibuka na chipukayo toka kila pembe ya Kenya na ukanda huu wa Afrika. Jiunge na kutaarifu na kuarifu zako fikra kila Alhamisi saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV. Ni tamu. Tukutane mizani.
Wow, thank you for keeping it right there. Indeed, there's hope for our economy, there is hope for the businesses in Kenya. It's not all doom and gloom. There is something good and there is something happening. Even when it looks like it's all so sad and things are just not moving your direction, you can be sure that there is something happening and something will come out of that miry clay that you're in, that very dark season that you're in. Somebody said that it's darkest just before dawn. So you can hold on to that. But in the meantime, Rev,
Yes.
I know you're the doctor of souls where you serve, you know.
Yes, yes.
Pastors, their work is, of course, giving hope to the world, but also it is the hope of Christ.
Yes.
So what do you see and how do you then, when we're telling people there is hope, really, is there hope? Is there hope? And especially amidst all these crises that we have gone through and all these things that are happening, you've painted it very well and shown us where it all is happening in terms of our economy, in terms of how even businesses are running today. And it's so, I mean, things are just not moving. So really, is there hope?
Indeed, there is hope. And as you rightly put it, it is darkest before dawn. They also say that flowers scent more when they are crushed.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
get the scent out?
Yes.
It's when they are crushed.
It's when they are crushed.
And we've really been crushed.
Yeah.
And the only thing that can come out of us
Yes.
is now the scent.
The beautiful scent.
Yes. And our hope is in God
Yes.
and in His Word.
Indeed.
And I want to read a verse, and I quote another verse. In Proverbs chapter 4, verse 18, we read, that is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 18, that the path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day.
Wow.
Yes, the path of the righteous
righteous.
is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter until there is full light of the day.
Yes. Wow.
And that's our hope. That the little light that we have will continue shining. The Lord will make it shine until it shines fully. The other verse that I would like to quote is where the Word of God says that even if a tree is cut,
Yes.
it will sprout again.
It will.
And so we've been cut, so to say, but there's hope.
There is hope.
There will be dew, there will be rain, and it will sprout again.
I hear you.
I guess we've been here before,
Yeah.
and God is still in control.
He is still in control. You can
know,
say that again.
You can think that other forces are in control, but no, God is in control.
Amen.
He did, will come out better.
Yes.
Having learned more lessons, having known things can go bad, and will be more forewarned and more prepared for future challenges.
I love that.
Yes, yes.
And so, Rev, now that we say faith without works is dead,
Yes,
we might preach and tell us there is hope,
yes,
but without taking action, indeed, we are not saying anything.
yes.
And because I know that you as an individual have been involved so much with the business within CITAM,
Yes.
what is CITAM doing? What is the church doing then
Yes.
to bring this hope closer?
Well, a few years ago, and actually it was very prophetic. On 29th of February 2020, we launched CBF, CITAM Business Forum.
Oh, it was launched in 2020.
2020 on 29th
9th of February.
February.
Oh,
It was a Saturday.
this is just before COVID.
Exactly. It was launched right here where
Yes. Oh,
where we are seated.
yes.
And I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, that's when the world was shut.
Whoa. Look at that.
So I look back and say, God, you are wise.
Yeah.
Because we launched CITAM Business Forum just on time talk about hope, and give hope to people.
Yeah.
Little did we know what would follow.
Yes.
And since that time, we have continued to create the platform
Yes.
through CBF, CITAM Business Forum,
Yes.
where people can be able to come together, think together, talk to each other. We first began by having chapters in all our CITAM assemblies.
Yes.
I think now almost 90%, of course, apart from the very new ones.
Yes.
Each CITAM assembly has a chapter
Yes.
of CBF,
Yes.
a talking point, a place where people can come and talk to each other.
Yes.
And besides that, we have yearly conferences, sometimes more than one conference. This year in particular, we had 2 conferences. We had a conference for women only in March, Women in Business. And in less than 2 weeks' time, on 26th, 27th, 28th, we have our 4th annual conference at CITAM Karen
Wow.
for 3 days.
Yes.
The idea is to encourage people. People come together and they find hope in God
Indeed.
and find hope in one another.
Yes.
Because, iron sharpens iron.
Indeed.
We encourage each other.
Yeah.
And then also we network.
Yes.
We really network because we are many enough to do business
I love
with one
that.
another.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Like
we are
we
so
said,
many. Yes.
money should circulate
Among us.
among us.
Yes.
And ideas also should just pollinate
Yeah.
among us.
Yes.
And encourage one another and talk to each other. And so and we have time to network. Not only that, we also have partners,
Yeah.
financial institutions who are our partners.
Yes.
Currently, we are working with Kingdom Bank. We are working with Absam Bank. What that means is that we negotiate for lower interests with these banks. Upon some training, they are able to work with people and resource their businesses in a way of providing capital.
Wow.
And then we also bring these resources in terms of people who are in that space.
Yeah.
People who are able to share their testimonies.
Yes.
And or they are able to share their journeys. And so that people can know it works. It
Yes.
is possible.
It is possible.
Yes.
Yes, I love it when you are painting the real picture of the issues that we're having globally, Kenya and within Kenya. You mentioned that one of the issues that we are faced with is the lack of skills, lack of knowledge, but also an attitude that people have. And you informed me earlier that the theme for this year is the mind shift.
The mind shift.
Would you want to talk into that? Because I think that's quite captivating.
Yes.
To know that one of the things that we actually need to work on is the mind.
Yes.
Even as we look at the hope that we have for businesses and for the economy in Kenya.
You see, somebody has said doing the same things in the same way and expecting different results
Yes.
is madness.
I know.
And we actually the battle of growing our finances is in our mind.
Is in the mind.
There must be a shift of our thinking. There must be a shift of our, our capacity.
Yes.
Sometimes we invest 20 cents and hope to reap millions of dollars.
I tell you.
So there's a lot of mind shifting that we need. We need to behold subsistence kind of business,
Yeah.
small dying business,
Yes.
to multi-billion, million, businesses.
Yes.
We need to see a business that goes from local to the region, then
To international. Yeah.
So we need a shift of our thinking and a shift of our, the way we
The way
do
we look at
business.
things, yeah.
And that happens when we get knowledge, when we get testimonials, when we get mentors. And I know there are many, many people, even in our churches, in our CITAM churches, and even some of the speakers that we're bringing, they are willing, sometimes even for free,
Wow.
to mentor people because they want people to succeed.
Yeah.
And so we need mentors, role models. We need people who can work with us and tell us, if we go this way, we'll succeed. Who will tell us the reason why we are not succeeding in business is because we are doing it wrongly. And so with that kind of, shift of our thinking
Yes.
and our attitude and the way we do business, the kind of structures that we build to do business, then our business stand a chance of growing, they stand a chance of, expanding and reaching further and wider.
Wow. And so tell me, is this conference open to everybody, even those that are not in business? I don't know. Who
is.
do you expect, who are we expecting as the delegates to this conference?
It is open for CITAM members. It's open for non-CITAM members.
Yes.
It's open for Christians. It's open to non-Christians.
Beautiful.
As a matter of fact, we even have an exhibition. And last year we had more than 300 exhibitors.
Yes.
This year we expect, 500 people exhibiting. And by God's grace, we are trusting God for 5,000 delegates.
Wow.
Now you can imagine if you come and do your exhibition of your services and your goods, your products, whatever you do, and that is exposed to thousands of people
Yes.
who will come to your desk.
Yes.
Or, I mean to your booth, to your exhibition booth. That spars your network.
That's true.
And as they say, your network
Is your net worth. Indeed.
Yeah, and so it's open.
It is open.
Last year, if I can give a testimony, we were doing this again at CITAM Karen, and a gentleman of Asian origin was driving along that Langata Road. And he said, "What is this?" Then he drove back, and he came in, and he saw it was exhibition for businesses. He went and paid.
Wow.
And he had this exhibition.
Yeah.
And we have exhibition for corporate,
Yes.
where we are charging just 50,000.
Yes.
We have what we call Soko
Yes.
and Duka
Yes.
for 7,500.
Yes.
And you need to talk to us.
Yes. And I know that information is also available on the website.
It is.
On cbf.citam.org, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can
And
get
so-
all that information.
Yeah.
And you can be able to call us.
Yeah.
You can be able to come and pick an exhibition.
Yes.
And then you can be able to display what you are doing.
Yes.
That will really catapult the business.
Great. Imagine our time is running so short,
Really?
Rev.
I didn't know.
What I want you to do is to do a parting shot with information that we need. Anybody who wants to attend, what do they need to do? I know there is payment to be done.
Yeah.
I know there is information that they can get from that website. Just do a parting shot with that,
Yeah.
even as we draw near the end of our session.
First, I want to say that we have put together very seasoned, serious speakers who are very practical.
Yes.
People who are, who are commanding huge businesses in the marketplace. People who are not going to give us theories,
Yeah.
but practical skills that they have tested and proved as they have been doing business. Secondly, we have put together a magazine, a CBF magazine,
Yes.
that is full of testimonials
Wow.
of people who have been with us for the last several years, and how, trying out the skills that we've been passing on, their businesses have changed.
Yes. Yes.
And they have become, big time players
Yes.
in the industry. And
Yeah.
that magazine will be there for free
Yeah.
for every person, every delegate,
Every
who comes,
delegate.
we issue them with a magazine
Yes.
as a reference, Then, as I said, we have also put together financial institutions who you just walk straight into their, their exhibition and be able to get a personalized attention on your name.
Yes.
And then all that you need to do is just to pay 2,000.
2,000 Kenyan shilling.
And
How
that-
do you do this payment?
This, we have made it very simple.
Yes.
You just, our pay bill number is 757-377.
Very well.
Let me repeat. 757-377.
Yes.
The account is just your name
Yes.
and your church.
And your church.
And if you are not in a church, your business,
Yes.
on just your name.
Yes.
And that information will come to us, and we will prepare for you.
Yes.
The 2,000, out of the 2,000 I've said, is so highly subsidized.
Yeah.
Because that will give you meals.
For the 3 days.
Yes, tea at break time and lunch. Then it will also give you the magazine and a book where you can make your notes.
Great.
A conference workbook.
Yes.
And then you be able to go around, network,
Yes.
talk to people,
Yes. And learn from
the experts.
the experts, right?
Yeah.
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 Great.
Yeah,
Great.
everyone should come.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Everybody should come. I'm loving that.
In
Yeah.
fact, we even have a youth section.
Yes.
We'll be launching something about the youth.
The youth.
Because we realize that if our youth can get these skills,
Yes.
and they can, get the right attitude, the mind shift early,
Yes.
then they will do very
They
well.
will do very well.
They'll do very well.
Indeed, imagine our time is gone.
Wow.
It goes just like that when you're talking the right things. And I want to tell you guys, the 26th to the 28th of October this year, 2023, is a good time to be together with other business people. You hear there will be more than 5,000 delegates seated together, gathered together at Sitam Karen, talking things business, learning things business, exhibiting, selling wares and everything. So please come, be part of that movement, be part of that group that is changing the world with businesses. The main theme will be the mind shift. You want to change your mind shift? You want to shift your mind so that you can do business better, bigger, and go globally if you have been doing small business. How do you do this? Is by paying only 2,000 shillings via the pay bill number 757-377. 757-377. And if you want more information on exhibition or any other information about the conference, please go to cbf.sitam.org. cbf.sitam.org. We're looking forward to seeing you as a delegate. Rev will be there, I will be there, we will all be
Exactly.
there.
We will be
Looking forward, right?
Exactly.
Very well. Thank you. With that, we come to the end of our show tonight. It's been real. It has been great. And we are looking forward to seeing you at the Sitam Business Conference. But in the meantime, please be there next week, same time, same place, so that we continue with our Occupy Today on that day. Thank you very much. Kwaheri for now.
God bless. Thank you.